All right, welcome back to Lions franchise here on Madden 24. We're going to be doing the off season today. We lost in the playoffs to eventual NFC champion Cowboys in the first round. So we will be going through here. We'll go ahead and take a look at the stats on this season. Gabriel Barkley finished first in the NFL in passing yards. And that's with only playing in 14 games. He actually did not play every game. So Hendon Hooker came in for a couple of games, threw a lot of interceptions and only 12 touchdowns. And Gabriel Barkley, of course, Hendon Hooker played in a few games where Gabriel Barkley was hurt for just part of the game, maybe injured in the first half, was out for the second half, something like that. That did happen a couple of times. And Gabriel Barkley, 41 touchdowns, 29 picks is a lot, but 41 touchdowns was good. Rushing, Jahmyr Gibbs, nearly 300 carries, 1,300 yards, 4.7 yards per carry. Only 7 touchdowns. Did fumble the ball twice, but did have a long of 71. So Gabriel Barkley had about 300 yards, mostly scrambling, had a few designed runs. Only fumbled the ball once. Then Hendon Hooker had a couple of rushes the games that he played in. Did fumble the ball 3 times, and then Ballard only had 3 carries, but he fumbled the ball once. A lot of these guys, we had, some of our, James Robinson played a little bit, but we did okay rushing. Receiving, Ray Clayton, 2,592 yards on the season on 138 catches. 22 touchdowns. I'm really surprised he didn't win MVP or something. So had a long of 46. So it's not like he was, catching 70-yard passes every time. I mean, he averaged 18 yards a catch. Averaged 152 per game. So got him the ball quite a bit. Jahmyr Gibbs had 1,000 yards receiving. 97 catches. 1,229 yards. I mean, he was there. He was catching the ball out of the backfield a lot of the time. 10 touchdowns. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown. Our receivers didn't do a ton. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 900 yards on only 54 catches. And then Gabe Davis, he had 600 yards and 6 touchdowns on only 22 catches. I like having him on the team. He's really our deep threat guy. Again, only 22 catches, but was able to get, 28 yards per catch. So Clarence Trapp didn't play much. I think he played more at the beginning of the season than Braylon Berry. He didn't really do a whole lot either. Jamar Sims did nothing. He had 4 catches. I think maybe he only played a game or two. I mean, he played every game. He was our kick returner, but he didn't get on the field a lot. So blocking, we allowed quite a few sacks. A lot of these guys did. But not an insane amount. I mean, there really are guards allowing quite a few. Defensively, Kirby Joseph led the team in tackles, 121. Branch, second in tackles. Jaden McPhee, a lot of tackles. Jack Campbell with 88 total tackles. As far as tackles for loss, Malcolm Rodriguez led the team in tackles for loss, which may be a little surprising. Aiden Hutchinson with 23. Ed Oliver with 21. Ed Oliver was great for us. Just able to stop the run and, get pressure on the quarterback. Jack Campbell with 18. Tariq Wallace had a pretty decent year. Nick Mullins, 15 tackles for loss, and then Johnson with 14. Kirby Joseph still had 7. A lot of guys with good numbers for tackles. As far as sacks, the pressure was, a little spread out. Aiden Hutchinson with 10.5. Ed Oliver with 10. Malcolm Rodriguez, 9.5. 8.5 for the corner, Teron Johnson. Tyreek Wallace had 8. 6.5 for Jack Campbell. 4.5 for Nick Mullins, who really came on partway through the year. And then Aleem McNeil, who was, he was on the field enough of the time. He had 2.5 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, and only 14 tackles on the year. So he played all right. Verdon, he wasn't on the field much, still had 2 sacks. Brian Branch with a sack. Scott with a sack. Russell Holcomb wasn't on the field much either. He was a rookie. He really didn't play. Kirby Joseph and Jonathan Worthy each with a half a sack. And then interceptions. Jaden McPhee had 8 interceptions. I'll be surprised if he doesn't win defensive back of the year. So Kevin Brewer had 5. Who he had a good year early in the year, but just didn't really show up later in the year. Teron Johnson with 3. Brian Branch with 3. Jack Campbell 2. Rodriguez and Mullins each had 1. And then forced fumbles, we had a lot of guys with 1. Jack Campbell had 2. And then fumble recoveries didn't have quite as many. Ed Oliver with 2. Aiden Hutchinson with 1. Did force 1 safety, Tyreek Wallace. And did have a couple of defensive touchdowns, Aiden Hutchinson, Johnson, and Jaden McPhee. So we can take a look here. Punting, Stonehouse had 33 punts for over 1,000 yards. But he didn't punt much. Riley Patterson, he was okay. He had a long of 56. Did miss 1 extra point. And the 2 field goals he missed were over. There was one up to 49 yards, so it was between 39 and 49. Then the other one was 50 or more. So, we may look to go with a new kicker, but he did okay. I mean, and then yearly awards, Dak wins MVP. Right, Clayton finishes 7. I don't know how he didn't win MVP. Coach of the year, Calvin Johnson here finishing 8th. A good NFC awards. Ray Clayton winning offensive player of the year for the NFC, and Jahmyr Gibbs finishing 2nd. Defensively, Malcolm Rodriguez is top 5. Teron Johnson's up there. Gabriel Barkley going to finish 2nd for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and that's a little upsetting. Maybe he still gets a dev trade upgrade from Braylon Berry. Going to finish 10th, so maybe not a lot of good offensive rookies because he didn't do much either. Defensively, I don't think we had a defensive rookie. Best quarterback, Gabriel Barkley's number 10. Best running back, Jahmyr Gibbs going to finish behind Kenneth Walker. Best wide receiver, didn't have one. Of course, Ray Clayton as a tight end wouldn't count. Nobody for best O-line. Best D-line, Aiden Hutchinson and Ed Oliver finishing top 10. Best linebacker, Malcolm Rodriguez is going to finish behind Danielle Hunter. Jack Campbell going to finish top 10 as well. Best DB, I told you, it had to be Jaden McPhee with 8 interceptions. We've got 3 guys here that finished top 10 in best DB. Best kicker, Riley Patterson actually finished 4th, which is probably the highest I've had a kicker finish. So we won a few awards. Should be a nice XP bonus for that. Jaden McPhee gonna go up a skill point here. And I think we'll keep pumping points into man to man. +2 man, +1 play rec. And he's up to Superstar X Factor. Playing up to 98 man coverage. And we'll advance the week here. We may look to spend some of our staff points in staff week. So, look at the season recap here. The Chiefs win the Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes winning Super Bowl MVP. We already looked at all the other awards here. Let's see here. We're into staff week. We've got some upgrades. Just going to be practice squad players. So, we're going to manage our staff here. We're just going to try to do any upgrades. Maybe we look to fire our offensive coordinator and bringing somebody that has the quarterback guru talent tree. Let's see, this guy does. I'm going to hire him. And with the quarterback guru talent tree, we can either go, throw on the run, throw under pressure, break sack, or we could get more accuracy for our quarterback. So I think we'll do that here. And then we can either boost his throw power or his speed. And normally I would do throw power, but we're going to boost his speed because he is a scrambling quarterback, and a little bit more speed would just put him over the edge. So I'm going to get short accuracy, medium accuracy, and deep accuracy up. And then I think we've already got all of the player personnel things upgraded for trades. So what else? What other head coach things do we have here? Go back to offensive coordinator. We've got juke move for wide receivers. We'll go that up by 1, and then we can do awareness for halfbacks, which shuts off our other one here. Boost break tackle for halfbacks and fullbacks. So just going to get that up, and that's going to be all of our staff points. We've got a new offensive coordinator coming in. We're not going to change our scheme, I don't think. If we do, we'll do it at the beginning of the next season. So we might look to. I'm just not sure yet. Maybe we'll go back to Lions playbook. Just not entirely sure what I want to do with that. We've got a couple of guys that have options to pick up. Verdon, I don't think we're going to pick up his option. We do actually have a little bit of money now. I don't think we had any money before. Jonah Jackson wants a 1-year deal. I'm going to up the money significantly here. See if we can get him to resign. He doesn't take the deal, so we could franchise tag him. I'm not sure. Johnson's regressing. I don't think we're going to bring him back. He's going to be 31. He's down to a 79 overall. A couple of these guys, not real great players. We could always replace them in free agency. Taylor Decker, our left tackle, he's 33. He's down to an 80 overall. I think we offer him a 1-year deal. I think we up the money a little bit. He's going to re-sign. Hopefully he doesn't retire. We're probably not going to have a lot of money in free agency. I'm not going to take the option on Hutchins. And I'm certainly not going to take the option on Verdon. We could franchise tag Jonah Jackson. I think that's what we're going to do. I think we'll just franchise tag him. So we get him back. Get Taylor Decker back. Johnson was a good corner. I don't see the reason to bring him back when he's regressing so much. So and now we're going to be into free agency here. We don't have hardly any money. It would be nice to bring in Ronnie Stanley or Frank Ragnow, but I think we had traded Frank Ragnow, so that's why he's not currently on the team. But we're not really going to be able to bring anybody in free agency. We should have more money next year, but we're going to need a lot of that to re-sign players. And I like the team we've got. We'll look at them before the draft at some point. And we'll also take a look at what draft picks we have because we do have a first round pick. So gonna get to the draft recap here. We'll use our focus players here. Our private workouts. And there's quarterbacks. A couple of linebackers here that we know are not going to be worth a top 5 pick. Another one that we know isn't worth a top 5 pick. So left tackle who might be good. Let's find out his true talent. So right tackle who's a pass protector and has a rating of F for run blocking. So definitely going to look to avoid him. So right tackle him. Would really rather someone like this guy who's a power guy and has a decent pass blocking and run blocking. And then there's a center. I don't know what this thing is with some of these guys having, like the wrong color background, but it's kind of annoying. Trying to find anyone that we can get the true talent on that maybe is down the board a little bit. Let's see about this middle linebacker. We'll take a shot on him. He's got a block shitting. So really looking at the left tackles though. We're gonna need more offensive linemen with some of our guys aging a little bit. We've got some trade offers for Jermaine, and we've got a trade offer for Verdon. Remember, he doesn't get on the field a lot. We've got Dalvin Andrews in a 7th. Deontay Johnson, who's now 31 years old. JT Nolan, right guard, 4th and a 6th. The Saints want to give me Wan'Dale Robinson. Marte Mapu. A really good tight end, a 5th and a 7th. Maybe we can get something for him. I just don't want to take really any of the suggested things. Free agency recap. Frank Ragnow went to the Packers. Ronnie Stanley to the Patriots. Kyle Hamilton to the Texans. Lucas Van Ness going to the Saints. Jamison Williams to the Cardinals. Shaq Leonard. No one signed Younghoe Koo. He's down to normal development, though. At this point, he is 33 years old and down to normal development. Jake Elliott, no one signed. So if we want a kicker, maybe we can, look in free agency. But now we were number 1 in points per game this year. The problem was our defense was number 32. And if you look at our defense, they're not terrible. Superstar X factors all over the place. Maybe just another corner? Scott's our 3rd corner, and he's an 82. So if we have injuries at corner, at some point we're going to be trotting 67 overall guys on the field. So that could be a problem. We've got, Scott playing backup safety as well. Nick Mullins, we've got a lot of good linebackers. Collins even is a backup, and he's a 74. Holcomb's the backup, he's a 76. Spriggs not even the worst at 69. We've got, 2 superstars. We've got X factors all over the defensive line. I just think maybe another corner would help. Offensively, bringing back pretty much everybody on the line. Maybe another receiver, but Ray Clayton does a lot of that for us. So maybe a backup tight end. Not really sure what exactly we're going to do in the draft. And this probably isn't going to be too long of a video because I'm not going to end up doing the preseason right now. So let's take a look here at what draft picks we actually have real quick before we get into the draft. And we have number 23 from Green Bay. We've got 3 second-round picks, a 3rd, a couple of 4s, and we've got 3 7s. So don't have a first-round pick next year. I think I'm okay with, not trading down to get a first next year because, I think we're just going to advance to our pick as well. But I'm kind of okay with just sticking and picking in a lot of these places because there's just not really any reason to trade down for next year when we're really all in on this year. So we've got a tight end here who looks good, Charles Houston. A catching traffic, B catching. Elite acceleration, elite agility, elite jumping, great speed, marginal strength. B catching. Do we go with another tight end and just have 2 really good guys on the field? I don't think we do. I really don't. Some running backs here. Again, we don't need another running back. There's a corner, but he's maybe a little further down the board. Maybe we do trade down here. Maybe we trade down. Maybe we pick up another second. Again, we don't pick till 16 in the second round. So we can get maybe something a little higher in the second round here. Again, this is into 2027 now. We can pick up a second, a third, and a fourth. They're offering us seconds next year. They're offering us number 25, so just move down 2 picks and a fifth in a couple of years. The Panthers are offering us number 30, and we can pick up a second, a fourth, and a seventh in the future. I think we're going to take that. That seems like a decent deal. Moving down about 7 spots here. And we pick up some picks next year in a draft where, we don't have a ton of picks. I wasn't planning on trading down, but really wasn't a lot of guys there that I was looking to take that we probably couldn't get later. And we've got a corner here. I know I said I was looking at corner because we're really, maybe just a little thin at corner. We've got a couple of really good guys, but then it really drops off. And corner is a position where you need, several good players because, sometimes they'll rotate. Sometimes you may have extra corners on the field. So B man, B zone, A stamina, B press, A to C injury. Pretty decent athlete as well. Great acceleration, good strength, great speed. Only solid change of direction, but that's that's okay with the good acceleration and the great acceleration and speed. Great jumping as well. I think we're going to take Leon Irving. Leon Irving, hidden development, 94 speed, 93 acceleration. Welcome to the team. We'll go to our next pick here, which is pick 16 in the second round. Got several second round picks here. And there's a safety that might be good, but he's more of a run support safety. Do need a backup tight end. I'm not sure we'd go Max Gordon, though. He's 6'2", 253. Great speed and strength. I think if we were going to take a tight end, we'd have taken the guy in the first round. F impact block. Only C spectacular catch. D B deep route running. We could always sign a backup tight end out of free agency once the year starts. So don't think we really need to spend a second round pick on a tight end. Got a slot corner here who might be good. And then we've got a wide receiver, which it's always hard to say how good the wide receivers are going to be. Doesn't have only solid speed. Only good strength for a physical wide receiver. A spectacular catch. A to C ball carrier vision. A to C catch and trap. D catching, B release. Might be a better wide receiver, and I think there is one right here. Possibly. At least with better hands anyway. 6'5". Javon McDonald. B catching traffic, C deep route running. Good speed, good strength. Maybe a little faster. Definitely stronger as well. According to the combine. Not really a great route runner with D medium route running. C short route running. C deep route running. But he's just a big target. He can go up and get it. Javon McDonald, welcome to the team. Only normal development, but hopefully he's pretty decent. Has a decent overall. And we're going to actually have the 18th pick as well. So pretty much whoever else we want, we're going to be able to get here. Maybe we go with the slot corner that I was also kind of looking at. Not a great zone guide. Not really the best man coverage either. He's kind of slow. I don't think so. Again, guys, some of these guys this far down the board we don't really have scouted too well. So, except for maybe the linebackers. Got a run stopping linebacker. We don't really need linebacker, but he's got elite acceleration, elite speed, good strength, A play rec, A tackle. His finesse moves are pretty bad, but he's got B zone, B catching. We're going to take Brian Friedman. And he's got 77 strength, 86 speed, 90 acceleration. Brian Friedman out of Ohio State, welcome to the team. We didn't really need another linebacker, but he can always step in if there's an injury. Which you never know. He may have to. He may end up being better than some of the guys we have. So, and maybe we'll go Devon Silvers. We looked at him earlier. We decided against it. I think just with his only solid speed, I don't think the other guy we took was probably better. So, could take a backup running back, maybe a power back here. A ball carrier vision, B break tackle, B carrying. Only decent speed, but great strength. We're really looking for a power back. And it would be nice to get a power back who can pick up some of those third downs that maybe, we have Jahmyr Gibbs, but it would be nice to have a powerful runner behind him just to get on the field sometimes. I think we're gonna get Benji Fields here. Only normal dev, 82 strength, 87 speed, 91 acceleration, and my hope for him is he's a 73, 75. Maybe he's not quite that high at the end of the second round, but hopefully he's at least decent enough to be the backup. We're not looking for, a starting running back out of him, but there's a center here who looks really good, projected round 3 to 4. A awareness, A impact block, A run block. Great strength, elite jumping, elite change of direction, elite agility, great acceleration. Austin Church, welcome to the team. Hidden dev. Just kind of a shot in the dark, but he ends up being really good. 89 strength, 83 acceleration. He could be great on this team. And we'll advance to our next pick here. And I think I want to trade back this pick and try to pick up a third next year. I think we're just a little too far down the board to pick up another third next year. Some of these are even just trades down in this draft and picking up no extra picks. So we're going to pick up a 4 next year, a 7th this year, and a 6th next year. So I might look for a kicker here in the 4th round. If there are any good ones, I usually just try to start by looking at their awareness and then see if they have, good kick power. He's only got decent kick power. It's usually what I go by is just looking at their physicals. He's got poor kick power, so A awareness not always a good indicator of what their kick power is going to be. Several of these guys with good awareness, but again, poor kick power. So I think I just looked at this guy. Yeah, he had poor kick power. But you should definitely always check out the kicker, see if anybody's good. But a lot of these guys with poor kick power, so he has decent kick power. He's also the fastest kicker. And he ran the best 40, so I think this was the only guy I didn't look at. Decent. So there was one guy who was good here. This guy, Kenny. And he only had decent kick power. Like, nobody had better than decent, I don't think. And when you've got power kickers with only, decent kick power, we'll also take a look at the punters here, see if anybody's. This guy's got great kick power and elite speed for a kicker. We're going to take him. Normal dev. You don't expect anything higher than normal dev for a punter. He may not even play. I think we still have Stonehouse, so maybe a waste of a pick, but fullback I like to look at a lot of the time as well, even though the fullbacks usually don't get on the field much. Here's a guy with elite strength and elite speed, Lance Spencer. 81 speed, 84 strength. Maybe he's a decent overall. It's hard to find good players this late in the draft, in the 5th round, so sometimes you just take a fullback. There's a guy that was supposed to go round 2 to 3 that hasn't gone yet. I'm certainly not going to take him. The zone safety with C zone coverage. Man-to-man corner who's got A to C man, but F zone. He's also not a great athlete, so. What about the safety? Is the safety any good? Don't really know a whole lot of anything about him. Again, he's not a great athlete. So. We've got a pass coverage linebacker with A zone coverage. Great speed. His speed's good. Not a strong guy. Elite acceleration's pretty good. B tackle, B injury. I think we'll take him. 85 speed, 90 acceleration. Probably not going to play. Probably just filling out a roster spot. I'd like to trade this pick for a future 6. We'll get a 6 in 2 years. Sometimes the 7th round picks really aren't worth making. We've got several as well, so can we get another? We can get a future 6 from Buffalo, which probably won't end up being that valuable, but still better than a 7. We'll make this pick. Get a run stopping right end. Get a corner who's got like all C's. I'll take him. I mean, pretty average, hopefully. This is our last pick. We're going to again trade. And 2 future 7s. I think I'd rather take the 2 future 7s from the Broncos. They should end up being worse than Buffalo's. It's going to take us to the end of the draft here. And we'll look at the draft recap here. And we got a lot of players. Leon Irving is a 75 overall. Of course, does have hidden dev, so he's not bad. He's 6'3". I mean, really just his tackling is bringing it down. His tackling and awareness are really bringing down his overall. So the wide receiver we took in the second round, he's a 70. Again, he had normal development. The linebacker we took, who ended up having hidden dev, he's a 73. Pretty good speed. Tackling's not bad. Block shitting's pretty good at 77. So he could be okay. The running back we took, he had normal dev. He's a 72. But he's playing up to a 74, so he might occasionally see the field. The punter was a 72. The fullback was a 70. That center that we took, that looked really good, he's a 72. He's an agile archetype. Again, he looked pretty good. So we got a lot of decent players. Obviously, our guys past the 5th round were not great. But got a couple of linebackers. Obviously, the late one's not as good. But we got a backup running back. We got a receiver who, maybe could see the field at times. Again, he's a physical guy. But his second highest archetype is playmaker. So he's 6'5", but he's got 91 speed. So he might see the field. Really excited about the corner. Hopefully he plays well. Best player in the draft was a 79 overall quarterback. And then there was a corner who went, but he's only got normal dev. High overall, but only normal dev. So I think I'd rather have the guy we took. That tight end, that was a tight end that went in the 3rd round. I think at some point we might have been looking at him, but a lot of 2nd round guys here. An even better power back. This guy's 77 overall with hidden dev. But I mean, we missed out on some of these guys, but really just didn't have, some of them scouted. I mean, over a receiver that went later was a 74. We did get Irving. He's a 75, which if his awareness was better, he would be a much higher overall. So, I mean, it's going to do it for our draft. We're not going to look at everybody here. Well, let's look at retirements real quick. Did we have anybody retire with the NFC North here? Just Rob Havenstein in the NFC North. So we're still getting a couple of trade offers. We're not going to do the preseason in this video. It's really going to do it for now. We'll probably just be simulating through the preseason at the start of the week 1 video. We're a 91 overall. Hopefully we can win the division this year, and it's going to do it for this one. I will see you in the week 1 video. Have a good day.